on live everywhere.
You guys have no idea how many devices we have up right now. So we got IG, we got YouTube, we got Facebook, we on my page, we on her page. We are every freaking where. So hi.
Hey.
How many? Oh, hey, Olivia's already checking in. Kamari is checking in. Oh, they coming in. Y'all write y'all names down too,
just
because
sharing.
Y'all know I'm putting y'all in every time y'all come in for the drawing. Hey, Camille. Hey, Kamari.
Hey, guys.
And somebody's watching on YouTube. I never know who it is. You need to start saying
comment. Say hey.
Say it, let's something. Now, y'all know that these comments are really small on Facebook, Lord. So we're going to be doing what the old lady stares.
Okay, I can see, but I still need to.
It's a little something extra. So, yay! If you don't know where you're at, I am August Crenshaw, business coach, and
Imani Aisha, marriage coach, and this is Couch Conversations.
So what are we here for?
Yes, we're here to help you guys with your business and your marriage thrive in both areas because they're both really important. So
yes, absolutely.
We're excited.
Yes.
This is 3? Is this the installment? What is this?
This is the third video. The third one, right? Technically, this is the second official topic, but this is the third video. We'll consider the first one as an introduction.
Hey, Delane.
Even though we were dropping bombs. Oh, let me put it down there. Let me put it down there because, you know, I got to put y'all numbers in. Your names in the drawing. So just a quick debrief for those of you guys that do not know. For those of you that attend live, you get your name put into a drawing. If you share, you get your name put into the drawing 3 times. If you know a sister that needs this and you tag her, then you get your name put into the drawing for every single individual that you tag and say, hey, girl, you need to listen to this because sharing is caring.
Right.
We got to stop floating stuff around this negative so quick, right?
This is like we've said before, this is a movement. We're trying to get the information out because we know that it's pertinent. So make sure that you say, hey, I see you, Delane, with the hearts or something to let us know that you're here. So it's concrete. You're not just watching, but you said hello, you said hey. And I'm going to say this probably later on in the broadcast. I'm challenging everyone who comes in to actually hit that share button. Because like you said, if this is positive, which you already know it is, so if it's not really in the vocabulary, make sure that you share that out because that's what we're doing here. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean?
So can we go ahead and just kick this bad boy off and go ahead and throw the topic out? I think you read the question last time. I'm literate, you guys. I am not challenged. And I see your comment. Thank you, KK. So the question was, what do you do when your husband feels like he's competing with your business for your attention?
Yeah.
And so we titled this How to Balance It All. The hubby, the business, the kids, because that's our challenge, right?
Yeah.
That's what we feel like. Now, before we get into the discussion, let me just make a really valid point. Isn't it kind of funny how when we work in corporate America, we be beasting it, right? We be driving down the highway, picking up the kids from daycare and, you know, doing all of this different stuff. We go home, we put the food we put the food on the crock pot before we go. And we make it work, right? We put the laundry in, we shift it out, you know, put it in the dryer. But there's something that changes. And I'm not saying that this means that we're supposed to still carry this burden. That's not what I'm saying. But I do just want to bring to everybody's attention that something changes once you become an entrepreneur, and it's something that's very valid.
Yeah.
Okay. And so all of a sudden, there's a different kind of pull on you mentally.
Yeah.
You're the one that's standing up for your business. You're the one who's being challenged to rise to another level. And so there's a different level of mental, spiritual strain that's on you. And now all of a sudden doing all of these things take a different toll on you. And a lot of times we feel like the last thing we need is for this man to be pulling on us and then saying that there's a fight.
Yeah.
For time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it becomes more difficult whether, you know, especially for those of you who are at home running and doing your thing in your business, it gets more difficult to really compartmentalize it. You know what I mean? And people don't always realize that. And there's this idea, okay, it's something that women carry, and a lot of times your men, your spouses carry too, is that if you're home, then all the home stuff, you know, is on you, and that's what you need to do. And so I'm not really understanding because you're home, but it's like, well, no, I'm home and I'm working. You know, if I'm able to put a pot of pasta on, I'm also trying to create this landing page. I've got courses that I'm taking care of and clients that I'm taking care of, and I threw a load of laundry in. If something's not done, it's not done because I need to compartment. I have to compartmentalize in a different way. because you can't bring the laundry to work in corporate America unless I'm mistaken. I don't know. They got maybe have some
exactly, and so it become a very cumbersome task. And one of the things that I hear women say all the time is, how do I balance all of this?
Exactly.
How do I balance it all? How do I balance the kids? And so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and come out the gate, and let's just dispel the balance myth that we're going to get into the solution. But I want you all to take something into consideration. And you guys got to forgive me. For those of y'all that know me, I've been battling with something, but I'm on the upswing now. But I still got a little tinge. You sound good. A little tinge of a cause. I don't sound raspy. I don't sound deeper than Anita Baker anymore. But I want you all to think about something. And it's just the whole concept of balance, period, because I want you all to be relieved. And I want you all to change the way you think about something. Those of you that know me, yes, I'm a business coach, but I specialize in strategy, mindset, and sales. And I put mindset in the middle, even though that's the first thing, because it's got to be at the core of everything. And I want you to understand something. Balance is impossible, flat out. There's no such thing as that. And I want you to think about it. Let's look at it from a corporate America perspective to really make you internalize this thing. You wake up at 5-ish in the morning to get you and the kids together, to get them off to daycare, to battle anywhere from 1 to 2 hours in traffic. Automatically, you got how many hours gone? You've got 3 of your 24 hours gone. Yeah. Then you go and work in corporate America for 8 hours in order to bring in enough money to take care of the family. You come home, you either make something that's a really quick fix within 30 to 45 minutes, or you stop somewhere and sit in a drive-through line for about 30 minutes to get something to eat. You get that traffic again for like an hour or two. You know, so once again, about 3 hours gone. If you got school-age kids, you're trying to hurry up and hustle. Did you do your homework? Have you taken care of your responsibilities? Another hour or two gone. And are you counting it? Yeah. So we're already at 16 hours out of the 24. Our day is automatically off. There's no such thing as balance. You're not going to be able to say, well, I'm going to put 2 hours for the kids over here, and I'm going to put 2 hours for hubby right here, 2 hours for my business here. You know, you can't do that. And so the solution has to be, and the first thing you have to do is you have to have a mindset shift and realize that it's all about your intention. Yeah. It's all about your energy. And it's about where you're putting your focus at when you're doing whatever you're doing. Right. And so the first thing that you have to really think about is, okay, when I'm with hubby, am I with him? Yeah. If I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna eat dinner, am I gonna be, well, hold up, I'm sorry. What did you say? Because I was responding to this post. You know, I gotta respond on this post because I think this person right here might be a client. Yeah. If you're playing with the kids, you really need to be into the Legos. The kids need to feel all of your energy, you know, while you're reading the book, playing the toys, watching the movie. Or are you gonna be like, wait a minute, 1 second though, because mommy on the call. And just go ahead and watch. I'm sitting right here, I'm watching too. Yeah. You have to be very intentional about your time. Be in the moment. Yeah, I'll stop because you feel like you got some thoughts.
No, like, you know, I feel like there's even more time than that. I was like,
it is.
I was being nice.
I'm being nice, yeah.
You're being nice because I'm like, oh, the travel time, the traffic coming back home, and you know what I mean, having to actually make the meal, if that's what you're doing. It really starts to add up. And so we have this idea that it needs to be like this, but it's not really like that. And like you said, I think that's really important to just reiterate from the perspective of the marriage. Are you present in the moment? And what's that thing that's going to bring you into the present? What's that thing that's going to keep you in that space when you're dealing with your time? And how much grace are you really giving yourself? You know, that's one of my favorite words.
Yes.
So how much grace are you giving yourself when it comes to, well, I didn't get to do this over here because something else needed to get done. So sometimes it's going to be like this. And this is actually what you're looking for. This is actually the quote unquote balance that you're looking for. Trying to get it like this is like moving towards that thing we talk about, perfection and all of that. That's an illusion. It's not real.
Yeah, it's not. And so what do you do then? Yeah. You know, what do you do to fix this? Okay, because that sounds good. Be intentional, I guess, you know, be all in the moment, you know. That I know that sounds good, but okay, but we're here, right, to coach you through this. And so one of the first things that I want to challenge you guys on is I want you to think about the structure of your business. And we went deep about this in the program, the package pricing program, profit program last night when I was doing a training with the ladies, because one of the biggest obstacles that women deal with when it comes to running a business is your pricing. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, there's only so many hours in a day. And what's happening with a lot of you all, you're dealing with this tug of war, because how in the world do you get intentional and give all of your focus when this thing that you created, that's your dream, is requiring so much time from you. And if you could, just get enough testimonials and get enough clients paying you the right amount of money, then you can then graduate and then you can get some of your time back. And a lot of you all are building your businesses backwards. You're not walking in your authority on the front end. And so you're building a monster. And you don't realize it. I know some of you guys would love for us to just get on the husbands, and we can. We can get on the husbands, and there are conversations, don't get me wrong, that do have to be had with them about how they pick up the slack, how you change the dynamic of responsibility and stuff like that in the household. But I really want you guys to think about, hey, Valencia, how have you structured your business and have you put yourself in the most profitable position?
Yeah.
What you thinking?
And just, I love you talking about restructuring, because then on my end is how do you need to restructure how you're running your household together so you can run your household without the headaches? Because the reality is that you're doing it together and you feel like you're doing it alone. And so if, you were mentioning sometimes you're at the dinner table, but you're responding to posts, you feel like if I spend too much time here with my spouse or my kids, then something's going to be lacking in my business. And if I'm spending a lot of time in my business, by the time I get to bed, my husband's already asleep or the kids are already in bed and I missed bath time or whatever it is that you did, make it, Valencia, or whatever the case may be when it comes to that. And so you're again not giving yourself grace. But if your husband's like my husband, if he's talking to me and I am seeming and I'm distracted by something, he's like, forget it. And then less and less is happening. They're expecting less and less to be part of the conversation, to be part of this with you, to actually be partners in the thing. And somebody actually said in one of my sip and shares, the last one that I did, where wives come together and we talk about these things, was like, when I do something in the house and if my husband helps, he feels like he's helping me. So it's on me to do it. The house, the business, making sure that the structure of the kids, it's on me, it's on you, right? And if your husband does, then he's helping you do something that's for you to do anyway. And I was like, that was a really poignant thing, because the reality is that what needed to happen with her, what needs to happen with a lot of you, is that you need to decide exactly what it is that you need to do in terms of restructuring the roles. If you're not happy with the roles and how things are going, even if it was used to be fine, they can change, right? It's going to morph, it's going to evolve, it can change. So when you talk about the R word of restructuring, it may very well be time to restructure how you do things in your marriage. And I'll say this, when you have your own business, it's almost inevitable. There were several conversations, I know for you too, there were several conversations that had to be had about how things were going to go differently because I was running a business.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And
not only the conversations, but the relinquishing of the way.
The hard part.
The way.
That's a hard
because, and if some of you that have followed me long enough, you've heard me say this before. So you got to think about it. I could be OCD, but I'm not. I'm close. I'm not. But think about this. I am the kind of person who likes my laundry washed, dried, folded, ironed, and put away all in one wop. I'm a very strategic person. So then when my husband comes in and he starts putting in his input and he's saying, okay, I got you, I'm gonna do a little something. Well, he puts the clothes in the washer and then he puts them in the dryer. He won't let them mildew. He won't leave them in the washer, but he'll leave them in the dryer. And it's like, oh, and so that right there, that drove me crazy. But now my husband was a little bit more involved in my business. So I'm gonna kind of segue a little bit because she got the marriage part, I got the business part. My husband was kind of like, okay, but what you doing with your business? He was like, you want me to do all of this stuff and I'm out here grinding and I'm working so that you could be able to build your business. But look at what you're bringing to the table. And we had some conversations where he's like, you sleeping on your work. And so think about this. I talked about not structuring your business right. There was a time when I had a group of like 15 women. And basically on average, they were paying me $200 a month to be there. Yeah, that was $3,000, but that was 15 women. Not to mention that I had some one-to-one clients. And so could you imagine responding to all of those people, their emergencies, going into the group, having the sessions, doing the research, helping them build? Like I said, you guys, some of you have got to really look at the fact that What you're afraid to do is what you need to do. I had a client literally today that was going to submit a proposal last week for $1,000. And she was like, oh, my coach, which is me, is in her head saying no. Hey, Lenora, and I seen some other people, Quinn. I had to go back and look at my travel time, other expenses, all of that stuff. That $1,000 bid turned into a $2,100 bid. Now, they didn't respond right away, so you know she's nervous, right? But you want to know what she put into the group today? That it was accepted. And she was so happy that her business coach told her that she needs to think like a business owner. And so my question for you is, are you guys thinking like a business owner? How is your business structured? And do you really understand that you are the one unique identifying factor? So you got to think about it. Some of you guys are underbidding yourselves. You want to know why you're underbidding yourself? Because you're comparing yourself to major corporations. But major corporations mass produce lamps. They mass produce shirts. You know, they mass produce food. But you, on the other hand, there is no mass reproduction. Of course, when you get to automation, to some degree there is. And so putting a premium stamp on you guys requires a very huge mindset shift. But you want to know the secret to balance? I said, y'all want the answer, right? They want the answer. Since there really is no way to balance, but there is a way to be able to enjoy your life more, I'm going to need you to walk in your authority and to understand mathematically, transformationally, why you should be charging people more money so that you can get your time back. Right. You're not in corporate America anymore, ladies. You are in the position of creating your life. And there's a huge amount of abundance out there. And you got to believe, just like that client believed, that I can charge this much and I can close this deal because I'm worth it, and that the people want you. They don't want anybody else. Right. And once again, even though hubby may not be able to articulate this like this, you guys have got to understand they're going to be looking at you like, well, where the real money, honey? where show me the money, show me the money. You all of this, you that in a bag of potato chips. Make the money.
Yeah, you can't just do the busy stuff. And I know this, but even just being entrepreneur, you can't just do the busy stuff and say that you're busy and moving and not see the return on investment, because your husband's going to want to see that.
Did you say busy stuff?
The busy stuff.
What's the busy stuff, girl?
Oh, man.
Call them out. Call them out. What's the busy stuff? Because a lot of y'all are not being productive. Y'all are being busy.
You're like, oh, I have to make, and everybody's at different stages. And I'm saying this from experience. I'm like, oh, I need these cards. I need to make sure that I have my website like this. I need to update this page on my website. I need to make sure that I'm always looking a certain way before I go to do Facebook Live or to do this video, instead of saying, okay, the message has come to me, let me get it out because it's going to be the most impactful when I do it this way. And so all of these things are happening. I need to have the landing page. And one of the things that I learned is that you can sell things that people need without the land. Oh, snap. You don't? Did you say you don't need a landing page?
You don't. All you need is, here I am. This is what I have to offer. And here's a PayPal link, and believe that people will pay you. All of that extra stuff that you guys decide to do, that's because you're mimicking people who have large, massive followings where they have so many people coming at them. They have so many visitors that they need to do that. But the vast majority of you, all you need to do is say, here I am. This is what I do. Let's connect.
Exactly. And it does make the difference, because your husband, and having a conversation like we talked about last week, coming to it with a sense of due diligence. And I have a question I want to ask too, because of something that you said about what is it that you have to relinquish. And when you have a conversation, so because I love alliteration, I know you do. I'm going to ask the question is, what is it that you need to let go of so that you can allow, for lack of a better word right now, but allow the space to happen for your husband to step in where you need him to step in, so that you can have the conversation about that? Because so many women and males come to me like, look, I'm trying to do what she asked me to do, but I didn't do it the way that she wanted me to do it. And so now I'm like, well, I'm just not going to do it anymore. Or what's the point if you're going to come back and do it behind me? So how are we really working together? You don't trust me. You're not, letting me, give me the space to do it, and saying it's okay for me to do it in the way that I would do it and not the way that you would do it. So what is the thing that you need to let go of for you to allow the space for your spouse to be able to do that? I'm going to call that leveraging the let go. Right? How do you leverage the let go for yourself so that you can allow for the space to do that? We both had to do that.
Yes.
but we're reaping the benefits of what that looks like. So if you're going to have the conversation about what it looks like to restructure the household so you can run it without the headache, if you're going to be able to move through in your business and still feel like you can have time to be in the moment present with your kids, with your spouse, that you want to feel like, I want him to want. I want him to want to have this conversation with me. I want him to ask what's going on with work, or how's it going, or celebrate the wins with you. You want that to happen, but you can't control his motivation. But what you can control is your own ability to create that space. So what does that look like for you? So in more specific terms, yes, reiterating the question, what is it that you need to let go of?
And you know what? Before I even say anything about the let go part, I just really want to have this real point right here. When you all are speaking sometimes over your business, there's a big difference between speaking into existence, operating in the law of attraction, versus speaking some woo-woo. Okay? Because you'd be like, I just need you to support me. I just need you to be there, because then when I make all of this money, I'm going to hire me a nanny, and I'm going to hire me a VA, and then I won't even have to worry about this. I just need you to be patient.
Right.
Do what I need you to do the way that I want to do it. But this goes back to, ladies, at some point we have to have this conversation centered around what are we in control of, not what is out of our control.
Right.
Because when you realize what you are in control of, then you have to sit down and you have to look at your numbers. And I want to challenge all of you guys to do something. I want you to look at everything it takes you. You're giving me that look. I see you on the side. I want to challenge you I challenged my group to do this last night. Look at every single thing you have to do. And I see you guys on IG. Thanks for chiming in. What does it take for you to run your business? Not the busy work. Yeah. For instance, if you're the kind of person that you need 15 to 30 minutes to prep prior to that client, fine. Yeah. If you have an hour session, 45 minute, hour and a half, whatever it is, clock it. How many times do you see them per month? What is it that you're doing? Afterwards, are you sending them a report? What are you doing? If advertising and marketing, doing the Facebook Live videos, not just being busy, you're actually being structural when you're going on IG, all of this stuff to get your promotions out there, responding to emails, doing those free calls, doing the connections calls, doing the sales calls that may or may not close for you. Look at everything it takes for you to do your business, that the things that have to be done, not the landing page, not the website, none of that stuff. And when you do the math, what a lot of you are going to find out is that you're still making the kind of money that you would have been making if you were in the outside world with things. Yeah. And one of the ladies, I had to show them, like for instance, some of you guys only want to charge people $200 a session for things that other people are charging anywhere between $500 to $1,000 for. You're the one who can't fathom why you are worthy of that and that you can get it. But when you do the math, you're doing this, let's say you have, X amount of clients, $200 a session. I take off the fees that are going to come out because you ain't really getting that much. PayPal going to take their little money, or whoever it is that you use, and we pay Stripe, all of those people, taking out the little fees that you are paying because you have landing pages and scheduling software and all of that stuff. And when you take it based on that hourly average, a lot of you are barely making, you'd be lucky if you're making $15 an hour. Yeah. And so there is, I reiterate, there is no balance, but what there is control. What there is ability. What there is power, and understanding who you are, doing the market research beyond a zip code search, because so many of you came up with your pricing, especially if you're in a service-based industry, because you Googled it and you said the average price for a coach in zip code blank, 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 and you made your existence based on this little bitty small area and said, well, on average, they charging $80. If I charge $100, I'm doing good. Right. Some people charge $250, but I noticed they've been in business for 12 years. I better not charge that much, when they could be having their own mindset glitches and had them ever since they began. And so you have to go beyond the scope of that and realize that this whole world, literally this whole world is at your disposal, and that you can change those prices. Because I'm going to tell you something, I have 50% less clients, but I make 4 times as much money. 50% less clients, but 4 times as much money.
Yeah.
So you need to understand that when I was down for 10 days and I was sick, I did not like that. It's big. I get, a little sniffle or something like that every once in a while, but I'm not the kind of person who just is down. I mean, I was down. I try to do videos, and when your clients tell you in your group, you sound awful, you need to shut up and not even do that training. I still showed up, but me being down didn't stop the boat from floating. But some of you, if you're down, you're pressing yourself. And what I don't want you all to do is I don't want them to resent their dream.
Right.
I don't want them to regret the reason why you got into business and you're doing this in the first place, because a lot of you're gonna overwork yourself.
Yeah.
You're gonna overwork yourself without the reward, and balance is going to be a thing that turns into, what's that classic phrase people say? I can do this all on my own.
Oh yeah. And that's not really what you want. That's just something that you say because you're frustrated as hell.
Yes.
And you're talking about, if you look at it, you talked about big businesses, but any business takes inventory of their stuff. So this is like you taking inventory. In the beginning, we talked about taking inventory of your time. This is about taking inventory of your money. And that kind of inventory allows you to make certain decisions in your business and gives you that freedom and that space that you want to have. And I'll say, this as well, in terms of the inventory, when you talk about your marriage and your spouse and what's possible that you want there to be, you want to have that partnership, that understanding, like you don't get it, you think you're just helping me, you think I'm just home, there's more to this thing, this is the kind of space I need, this is the kind of understanding I need. But you mentioned things like support and be there. And the reality is you know what you want, but you also don't know what you want. And I'm going to explain for a second. You know that you say that you want support. You say that you know that you want to, have somebody be there. You want that understanding, that motivation to be involved in your business in whatever way you want your husband to be involved. But the reality is, until you get into the thick and things, until you see what it really takes, until you're really in it to know what's what and how you're elevating your business and moving to the next level and what that's going to take, you can't really say what the heck it is you want, right?
No.
So if you can't say that, then you really can't articulate it to your spouse. And so again, going back to not the balance, but the control, and you getting introspective about some concrete things, right? That we've been talking about with your pricing, about really deciding what it is that you need to let go of so you can give your spouse some space, is going to be, okay, what does this really look like for me? What is it that I really want? Because you could spout support and be there and understanding all you want, but if your spouse doesn't really get it, if you're not really articulating it, you're not going to have a fruitful conversation. You're still going to feel like you're doing it alone, and nothing's actually going to change. So what's possible in your marriage is important. When I talked to a couple and it was like, I want him to be motivated to ask me about my job. I'm always talking about it with my friends, but I want that with my spouse, whom I live with and have a family and, I'm going through this life journey with. And so when we got through, it was like the motivation was there, but she had to realize what she could and could not control. She had to realize what it was that she really wanted and how to articulate that, because guess what? He didn't know. And she mistook what he didn't know for he doesn't give a damn, but that's not true. He did give a damn. Several damn. Exactly. Because he loved her, and your spouses do love you, but there's a disconnect in how you're dealing with putting it very outside of yourself.
Yes. But I like the fact that you're saying that once you get into the thick of things, then you can say what you really want, because it's deeper than just help me out.
Right.
Because that's a broad term. Just get the laundry. When you know what you really, really want, then you can sit down and then you can say, hey, babe, can you be here for me? And can you do this? And I know you're going to do this your own way. However, if there's some critical things that need to be done a specific way, then you can communicate those things. But what happens with a lot of us, we're just talking on the fly. I need help with this. Can you do this? Blah, 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 blah. And that's part of how, when you can be specific, then that's when you can get to that point, of relinquishing. We've been talking a lot. Somebody's been putting a lot of comments up. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Where are you at? What are you thinking? We love questions. We love comments. Let us know what you got going on here. So we got, hey, ladies.
Hearts. Yair say, #shared. Gracias, maestra. Gracias, Naima.
Thank you.
Is there really a balance though? Yeah, we touched on that. Girl, you just said it right there. I don't know what it was.
I don't know which one it was. Whatever it was,
Somebody said it.
We said it.
He's laughing at us. She said, #real talk. Don't get sick in the midst of all that. You just added another hour to your day gathering up energy. Yes, that's so true. You're like, oh, or you're just really excited because now somebody else has to do it. I'm sick. I can't.
And then you mad afterwards because it just really didn't get done.
Right. And that should not be the way you get the break, right? I'm falling down on the sword. That's the only way that I get the space to really,
And unfortunately for many of us, that's what we do, but that's that crash and burn.
I'm late, but you made it.
Did, Valencia.
Gracias, Valencia shared too. All right, I see y'all in these streets. Yes, that was a real tight conversation that we had about what household expectations. Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey, Quinn, you said laundry soul sisters. I'm sure that was yes.
Do it all.
Yes. Hey, Misty, I think I missed you. And hey, Angel, Erica. Yeah, you got see.
Yeah, I'm get that to make sure to see who's there.
You said I still don't have a landing page, but you're making that money though.
Hello, without the landing page, still making the money.
You graduate to certain things. You see what it is that you need, but that's the thing. I'm tailoring to what it is they need too. Just saying. So for some people, that's the thing, and for other people, it's not.
Okay, so there we go. There we go. So I seen that we saw a couple of highs on mine as well. Thank you, KK. I just saw that you shared it too. So we're gonna put down putting the share on there. Oh, so listen. Oh, look, I got Camille and Kamaria right there by each other. So look, if you guys haven't done so already, please share. Right, this is a good conversation. This is good meat. This is good food for thought.
Yes.
The question I have for you guys that are watching is, where are you at? Hey, Chad, where are you at with your business? Where are you at in your marriage? Yeah. Because if this balance, this fight for time is something that you're struggling with, this fight for support is something that you're struggling with, you don't have to be like ready to go to the divorce court. You don't have to be ready to separate. You don't have to be ready to throw in your towel. What we're looking for is for the women who are saying, you know what? Enough is enough, because there's only so much thinking I can do. There's only so much stuff that I can figure out on my own. Right. You heard me talking about walking in your authority, being able to have the mindset to adjust those prices. Also having a coach that's willing to be analytical with you and help you to look at those numbers, to start decreasing those spending costs that you're putting out there, with building your business, helping you understand how to have those conversations, communicate, and to do these things, Go ahead.
Leveraging the let go and really realizing what it is going to take to restructure what it is that you're doing in your household together, and being able to be specific about having those conversations.
Absolutely. What we want you to do is we want you to, have a conversation with us. Go to www.packagepriceprofit.com and set up an interview with us to talk to us, because we have the winning strategy. It's not a question. It's not a question at all. Go and fill out an application. Let us get a window into your mind, your business, and all of that, so that we can support you and to show you what's actually possible in your marriage and your business. You can have peace and profits, right?
Right.
Well, Kamita put a big one up there. I'll let you get that one while I type this website on here.
I think having that conversation with your spouse to be sure you both really have the same understanding. Sometimes we assume, that's another word, Camille. Sometimes we assume they think the way we do about something, but they don't. Oh, absolutely. First, let me say yes, absolutely. And we also do this thing where, because I love that you put the word assume out there, we assume that they have the same motivation. You guys can desire something similar. You can both desire that your business thrives, but not for the same reason.
Yes.
And there's an assumption or an expectation that your husband is going to have the same motivation and reasoning that you do for your business to thrive. But then in reality, when you have the conversation, you find that there's something else that motivates them. It's not going to be the same thing. They didn't create it. It's not their baby. No, it's not their baby. If we're just being honest,
absolutely.
Our husbands are really involved, but it's our baby.
Yeah.
So I'm so glad that you brought that up, because absolutely you can't deal with that expectation, and navigating that, the nuances that is part of, what I work with clients, because they're not sure how to navigate that. That's where the gaps come in.
Absolutely. So go ahead and get both of us simultaneously, and let's get down to the heart of what's going on in your business and your marriage. Yeah. If you have not shared yet, share, okay? Somebody is going to not win one of these free things we're already giving. Somebody's going to win some time with me and Imani to actually talk about some Harcourt Award-winning strategies. So I am. Ooh, I made it, you guys, without coughing.
I know. I was like, she sounds good to me. I don't know what she's talking about. You coming up out of it.
But we love you guys. We can talk to you guys all day. If you have any questions, you know that you can also put them down here in the comments. Of course, we got plenty of topics. Some of you submitted a lot of information, and we're going to be bringing them as we're going. But definitely share this. Put your questions in. We're going to be back here next Monday.
Yes, we are.
Every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah. Come join us so that we can help you get those nuggets to release some of the tension that you are experiencing building your business and managing your marriage.
Yes, because we're not doing mediocre in here, in your marriage or in your business. That's just not.
Can you say that one more time?
We're not doing mediocre in here. Like, real talk.
That's it right there. You say you made it through, Mama. Now go drink some more lemon. Yes, I will. Yes. So, hey, Charlene, but that right there. The whole thing is about not doing mediocrity. Yeah. And that's what we definitely should close out with. Yeah. So you ain't got to be down in the dumps. The point is, we don't want you guys to be average. Yeah. Be allergic to average.
Heck yeah.
Expect greatness. Yeah, there you go. Are you saying that I'm average? No. It was the word. Just saying the word made us sneeze. I just started coughing again. Bam, there it is. So it's been a pleasure as usual. Thank you guys for joining us. We are going to get out of here, and we'll see you all next Monday.
Yes, we're so much closer to our drawing. I'm excited about that.
Yes, we are. On the 16th. Yes. The 16th is when we're drawing to see who won this month. Oh, Lord. Jaden said, bless you, Imani.
Thank you very much. All right, you guys. It's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Hey, Kristen.
Yes,
we'll see you guys later.